Trying to stay light on the roots. Yeah. Whoa, Chris! That section is really tight. Hey guys, today I'm with the legend Chris Kovarik. We're on Whistler Mountain and we're gonna ride a famous double black trail. It's called A-Bud. So Chris, you've been racing World Cup for over 20 years. You won 4 World Cup, and what's the highlight of your career?
I think it was back in 2001 actually. I won Fort William, the first race ever there, by 14 seconds, and it's still a record to this date.
Oh yeah, I bet no one's gonna beat that now. Bikes are all super fast and the time are super close. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, the technology and the suspension and just the geometry and the way the bikes are made these days, races are fitted to, so you know, that brings the times a lot closer, and I don't think that margin of 14 seconds will ever be you know, matched again.
A-Bud is on Whistler Blackcomb. It's a double black trail. I will put a link of the trail fork in the description below. Basically it's a perfect enduro stage. Actually the riders from the Enduro World Series in 2018 raced on it as one of the stages, and yeah, it's a great track, pretty fast, it's really rough, it gets a lot of traffic, and yeah, it can be really demanding for your arms and for your body as well as for the bike. So let's get done it. Okay guys, with Chris Kovarik at the top of A-Bud, and we're gonna take you down a lap. As you can tell on the GoPro, it's very wet right now because it's been raining for the last 2 weeks. So we're gonna have to adapt the riding, we're gonna have to choose different line, but Chris is an expert, and he's gonna give you some tips afterwards on how to ride when it's wet. So after you, Chris.
Yeah.
So the uphill was about an hour, not even 45 minutes, and here we start. Woohoo. It's really slippery actually right now, so you got to adapt a bit your lines. Can't really see well behind Chris. I definitely had a better line here. Whoa. Yeah, it's really wet, not easy to ride. Bit of a more direct line here. Yeah, I'm basically trying to ride where there's not as many routes and a bit more support for the tires. Yeah. Hopefully the GoPro is not too wet. You good? Whoa, that was a gnarly one. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, as you can tell, it's not easy to ride. Pretty wet. It's also really cold. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah, it's not easy. Yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, that was a slippery one. No, not today. That's really slippery.
Oh my god.
And it's really cold at the same time, so your body is like really rigid.
It is,
yeah.
It's a little bit hard to see the roots and the
For sure. Maybe let's give some tips on how to ride in the wet. It's a nice spot to stop. So. Okay, so as you guys could see, it's kind of slippery. It's actually very slippery, and it's also really cold. So Chris, what's your top tips to ride in conditions like this?
For a start, I would probably wind off some high and low speed compression, just so your shock's flowing and working a little bit more actively across the roots.
Which totally makes sense because it's wet and it's slippery, so we ride slower. So your bike doesn't need as much support. You also can't hit necessarily the fastest line. You're not gonna take impact as big because you ride slower, so you don't need as much compression.
Exactly.
What about tires?
For tire pressures, when it's slow and cold like this, you can normally get away with running a little bit lower pressure. The reason we do this is because it allows the tire to have a bigger footprint across the roots and rocks to gain more grip.
Yeah. Also, once again, because it's wet, because it's cold, you don't ride as fast. So also in terms of reliability, you can get away with, you know, less pressure in your tire. Exactly. You should not have flats because you don't, you know, go over the rocks and the root as fast as you would when it's dry.
Exactly. Also too, with running lower pressures, you're going to get a bit more, a little more lower bump sensitivity too there. Which
helps again, once again, with the grip.
Totally.
And in terms of riding, what do you change?
For riding, you normally want to ride a little bit looser, so absorb the roots and rocks more with your arms and legs rather than riding stiff. Ride too stiff, your tires and bike are going to ping off obstacles rather than absorb when you're riding loose and letting the bike kind of float around and dance around a little bit. Yeah,
so you want to basically give some space to the bike, so it's okay to leave the bike slide. You just want to, you know, obviously use your core, but at the same time you don't want to, you know, hold the bike in a certain position because otherwise you can't, you know, make one with the terrain and then everything gets out of control. So you want to give a little bit of margin to the bike to kind of move a bit around you. What about lines?
Line choice, basically because the roots and rocks are slippery, you pretty much want to aim for where the rocks and roots meet the dirt, so you're less likely to slide off the route and off the trail. If there's a bit of dirt there, you've got a bit of traction, so it makes sense, right? Yeah, and also what I like to do is I usually try to stay away from anything that's off camber. So off camber dirt, off camber roots, off camber rocks. What I try to aim for is anywhere that has a support. And if I aim for something that's off camber, I always make sure that there is some kind of support at the bottom of it to catch me. Let's say if there is an off camber root section, if I'm going a little bit fast, when it's wet I might attempt it, if at the bottom of it there is some dirt to catch me in case I slide. Exactly, so you want a little rut or a berm to catch you rather than... Yeah, like, and also once again the idea, even if you race on conditions like this, you're not necessarily looking for the fastest line, you're looking for kind of the safest line, because what's smooth and safe at the end of the day is pretty fast. Exactly. On conditions like this. I agree. Some tips. Let's go for part 2 of Abud. So this was literally the little uphill. It's not bad, but I guess during a race run it's probably not very easy. So yeah, if you can look at the color, it's pretty amazing today. Yeah, Chris. Trying to stay light on the road. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, trying to be light. Super key on those conditions. Yeah, I really want to adapt. And as well, Chris is riding flat pedals. Yo!
I'm trying to leave my front wheel off the ground every time there is a puddle, so the GoPro can stay clean. Woo. Whoa, Chris! I have the GoPro on my head as well. So nice. Yeah, it's really cold. I'm starting to lose feeling on my left hand for some reason. Oh. That tree was pretty close. Yes. Oh, yeah. Little eye line here. Yep. Yeah. Woohoo. Oh, definitely at the bad line here. Here as well. Yeah, maybe take a break here, Chris. Okay, about part number 3 behind Chris Kovarik. That section is really tight. I can't imagine when the guys racing enduro are tired, having to be that precise. Must be pretty tough. Yes. Yes. That's what Chris means when he says looking for where the roots meet the dirt. Up. Ah, it's such a good track. Oh, slippery here. Yeah, trying to be light on the bike. And we come to the finish of a bird.
Thanks, man.
That was a good one. Let's
wow.
Yeah, let's do another one of the little laps.
Yep.
That comes down the fire road. Yeah, it's so slippery.
Oh man,
it's really tough to adjust. You know, you're riding on those conditions, like you know what speed you can go, and when it's wet like this, you just have to, you know, just ride slower, basically.
A little bit more relaxed.
Yeah.
A little bit more loose.
When you lose on your body, it's like makes such a big difference. Just, you know, leaving the space for the bike to move under you is so important. Just before we drop in the last part of our ride called Instant Gratification, Chris, so you're known for your cornering, your flat pedals, your cute little curly hair, obviously your World Cup wins, but what can you tell us about flat pedals? Why do you like them so much?
Well, I like flat pedals because it basically gives me the freedom to move my feet on the pedal and move the bike a little bit better for myself. And also in conditions like today, you saw it was wet, slippery roots. It can give you the confidence to get your foot out whenever you need to in case you crash or you need to put a foot out quickly. Also, it's a good way to learn how to start to ride mountain biking.
Yeah, because basically if you use clips, sometimes you kind of cheat a little bit by pulling the bike, and the correct way to learn mountain biking is to know how to do, you know, the basics such as a manual, nose manual, a bunny up without the help of the pedal. So if you learn with flat pedals, you're just gonna become a better rider when you switch to clip pedals or stay on flat pedals. Okay,
exactly, that's the best way to do it.
Let's go. Okay, and now on to instant gratification. Whoa. Yeah. Oh, yes. You saw Chris pulling across the roots just to make himself lighter. Oh, I was a bit too close. Alright, it's all good. Hey, how are you doing? Yeah. Onto some wet wood. I went straight into the pond. Oh, that was wild. Yeah. I was a bit sketchy at the end. Hopefully the GoPro didn't take too much mud. Yes. Yeah. Woohoo. So we are now with Chris in the bike park, and we're gonna show you a few corners, so sit back and enjoy some drift.
Let's get sliding.
So before we take you down a short lap, Chris and I ride for Evolution Whistler, the bike shop, also E13 Components and STFU, which is a chain device that Chris invented. So what can you tell us about it?
Yes, so the STFU is basically a chain damper device that I invented, basically just to stop chain slap noise. All you want to hear when you're riding down the mountain is your tires and your suspension. Quiet bike's a fast bike, right?
Yeah, let's go for a rip then.
Let's get into it, boys.
Okay, let's see some corner from Carver. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yo! Oh! Yeah!
Oh man, that was so much work.
Woo. Hi guys, thanks for watching Chris Kovarik and I done A-Bird and then a few short laps in the bike park. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comment below what trail I should be riding next. If you want to get one of those STFU, I have a special discount code. It's Remy15. I will put a link in the description. And see you on the trail, see you on YouTube.
See you guys.